that's taller than I am. So I'm going to preface my stand-up set by telling you penis, vagina. So I realized that my mother is not even secretly racist, but she's just really obnoxiously racist. I mean, I was used to it when I was back in high school because I lived with her. But now I realize it because I'm on the phone with her, and then she'll, like, I don't hear racism like that terrible every day. And so I was on the phone with her the other day, and then she says, well, I don't know why black men like fat white women. And I'm like, Mother, that's a terrible, terrible thing to say. And she's like, what? I just want to know. And so I go, well, why aren't you in the kitchen making Dad a sandwich? And she goes, Amber, that's a terrible thing to say. And I go, well, I just want to know. The other day I was listening to music, and I realized that there are a lot of like fusion music mixes, like, you know, indie rock and pop and just terrible things like country and pop and Europeans and pop. And so I wondered why had no one married gangster rap and emo music, because that would be absolutely brilliant. Because I was thinking about it, and he would be like wearing like really tight pants, but they'd be down to here, and he'd have songs like about how his bitch left him and it left a black hole in his soul, and he's gonna put a cap in his own ass. And so like I would go to concerts and I would just cry because I would find out humanity like doesn't have any dignity anymore. So I had a job back in high school at a frozen yogurt store, and one time I was opening, and I have to open the exit door in the back in order to see to unlock the back kitchen. And so I opened the door, and then just this terrible, terrible, terrible smell came like wafting at me, and it was the smell of feces. And so I had closed the door very quickly because I didn't care. And so I didn't write a note or anything, and because I thought it would just kind of go away eventually, because that's the mark of a great employee. And so a couple weeks later, there was a note from someone else saying, there's a really bad smell in the back, and it's, you know, really gross. And they weren't actually obviously saying, you know, it's shit, but it's so obvious. Like, if you have pooped before, you're 19 years old, I guarantee that you have at least been in a bathroom. And so, but I, of course, didn't pay attention again, and a week later there was another note saying the same thing, again with the same covert, like, it smells really bad! And so that weekend, we were about ready to close the store, and I was taking out the trash, and I had opened the door, and I had realized there was a homeless man in front of me taking a dump. And there's something that happens to a sane person when someone's doing something totally wrong, totally insane. You act like you were the one who made a faux pas, because I just go, oh God, I am so sorry. And then I run back to Yummy's, and so the name of the restaurant. And I have noticed that maybe it's just me, or I'm that kind of person, because I was on an airplane coming back from break, as far as you know. And so I had gotten used to sitting in the back of the plane and being by myself, because no one sits in the back of the plane. That's reserved for us minorities. And so I was sitting back there, and I had just gotten done with a flight by myself, and I was really excited because I thought no one was gonna sit next to me, but then this old lady sits next to me, and you know, that's fine. I mean, I'm not as happy as I was before, but I thought it was okay. And so I go to sleep because I'm really tired, and then I wake up and I realize that someone had turned my light on, and I didn't turn my light on, and I realized she turned my light on. And I was appalled, because that's my light. It's like when you're in an airplane, you're like the god of your domain, like that's your light. And so I didn't want to say anything though, because I thought, well, she's old, maybe she didn't notice, because like I saw her before messing with the doodads and whatnot, and she was like all over the place. So like I thought, well, she's old, it's an accident. So I went back to sleep. And so I noticed, like, I woke up again going, geez, it's really hot. And I thought, why is it so hot? And then I realized she turned my air duct off. And I was like, who in the world does that? Like, this is my bubble. You don't touch my crap. That's just general. And she was really getting up on me. Like, she was so close to me. The only way she could be any closer is if she was physically sitting in my lap. And so I had tried to ignore it, and I thought, okay, well, I guess I'll just read, because now I'm hot and my light's on and there's nothing I can do about it. So I bend over to like open my backpack, and my backpack's already opened, because from the last flight, and I realized that her foot is in my backpack. And I just didn't know what to do. And I was just sitting there going, and then my thought was, maybe I could grab the book and not touch her, and so I raise her very softly, and she glares at me like I've done something wrong, and I just go, oh God, I'm so sorry, and then I turn around, and so I was just, and so that basically the story is to tell you that I'm a spineless sack of spinelessness, so thank you very much for saying that.